Please click on the subscribe button so you get notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the ESPN Plus Original Series Up for Debate. I genuinely love the series, and I think if you haven't watched it, you're genuinely missing out if you're a sports fan. This three-part series with an average watch time about 30 minutes per episode covers the evolution of sports media from its newspaper roots to what the media coverage is today on television and the internet. The series was produced by Religion of Sports and Mr. SAS Productions, and it also features a number of sports personalities, including Shannon Sharpe, Troy Aikman, Michael Wilbon, Molly Qerim, Mina Kimes, and Mr. SAS himself, Stephen A. Smith. The first episode was titled It Was Written, begins with Stephen A. talking about the world of sports media today, while looking back at its origins from print journalism to sports personalities like the legendary Howard Cosell, and eventually evolving to the debate format that is widely popular today. You get to see clips from the launch of ESPN in 1979, a young Skip Bayless and Tony Kornheiser from the Sports Reporters TV program that launched in 1988. You hear words from the legendary Mad Dog Russo when he talks about the launch of WFAN radio and how sports radio played a role in the evolution of sports media. I enjoyed all the clips. I respect how they portrayed Howard Cosell, who commanded the respect of Muhammad Ali when he was speaking about his issues in the 1960s and why he didn't go to the war. And guys, it introduces you, or you see the origins of Skip, of Tony Kornheiser, of Michael Wilbon, and Mad Dog Russo, people that have influenced sports media today, right? Even though a lot of us don't agree with a lot of their takes, they are a big part of why sports media is the way that it is today. Episode 2, Hot Takes and Cold Pizza, talks about how sports media evolved into the sports debate format that's widely used today. You get to see clips of shows that started in the early 2000s like ESPN's PTI and Around the Horn. Plus, you get to see the rise of Skip Bayless, where he just had a block on Cold Pizza to launching First Take and ultimately being one of the most well-known sports personalities in America today. They include clips from Skip's awkward interview with Chris Bosh, where they talk about Bosch's last name. And what I found most interesting is that Skip has not changed in the last 20 plus years, backing everything he says with every fiber of his body. You also see how First Take was taken to another level the moment Stephen A. Smith joined, forever changing the world of sports media coverage. There was a clip of Jim Everett, the former quarterback of the Rams, assaulting Jim Rowe on his show. What surprises me is that a lot of athletes keep their composure when they're put in these national TV spots, and they don't overreact when people blatantly disrespect them. And also how much sports and sports debate culture has influenced politics and news. You get to see a lot of that in episode 2. Finally, episode 3, Success and Successors, talks about the sports media landscape today and how it's evolved. Well-known sports personalities like Shannon Sharpe, Colin Cowherd, Cam Ron, and LeBron James, and many, many others have grown their own platforms and launched personal media brands, forever changing the landscape of sports media. Shannon Sharpe talks about launching Club Shay Shay and using his platform to launch his own media company and being in a position where he doesn't have to rely on a network job anymore for money. Cameron talks about how he wanted to talk about sports in a barbershop setting and expand his reach beyond music and sports. Matt Barn talks about wanting to bridge the gap between media and athletes, especially because he was a pro athlete himself and wanted to create a safe space where other pro athletes could come share their personal stories, and the responsibility of elevating the standard of sports media, uplifting and not squashing the competition. Guys, episode 3 is really important, especially if you're doing something like this, like I'm trying to do, and have a sports podcast. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with some Empowering with Positivity.